Meter final. There are your records in a great individual showdown here. Two men going for doubles. Kenenisa Bekele from Ethiopia won at 10,000 meters, and Hicham El Guerrouj from Morocco won at 1,500. The 28-year-old is one of the legends.
And watch out for number 7 in 95 in this race, Abderrahim Chebii of Kenya.
So we are set to go. So they're off and running here in the 5,000 meters. You mentioned Abderrahim Chebii from Kenya. A great rivalry between the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. And the Ethiopians getting the better end of it so far here in the World Championship.
I wondered if it would be team tactics here. Will these three Ethiopians try and take it out hard? Will the Kenyan group, of which there are 4 in this race, you're only allowed 3, but a defending champion gets a buy-in here, want a fast pace. And we'll know that very soon.
Kenenisa Bekele, number 423, 21 years of age, going to the head of the pack right now. Also in the field, and a fine accomplishment as Hicham El Guerrouj in the green from Morocco moves up into second. Jorge Torres, the youngster from the U.S., making it to the final. What about the state of distance running in America right now, Larry?
Well, every 2 years you get a report card at the World Championships, and this has not been a good time, particularly for what happened here so far. From 800 meters to the 10,000 meters on the track here, there are 9 events total, men and women. And the U.S. in Edmonton 2 years ago, Terry, had 8 athletes that managed to get to the final. Right now, in this meet, they will have only 6, so more hard work still needs to be done. A very fast first lap, 60.5 seconds. This is going to be a torrid pace.
Kenenisa Bekele looking for the double. Leads the way so far in the 5,000. Right now, we step away to get a report on the field events from Dwight.
El Guerrouj gives Gebremariam a little bit of a push, and he was only guiding him. Instead of that, he got a belt back from Gebremariam. So he's now back in 4th place. Gebremariam on his shoulder, and the 10,000 meter champion trying to turn this into a real test of endurance. If it was a test of speed, I think he'd still have a chance. But he's taking out insurance policy. He wants to make it fast and hard, and he wants to make it so that he's in a position to follow his teammate who's moving through quickly in the 2nd place. That's Gebremariam, and he's a talent as well. But this is an amazing way for a man with such a fast finish to try and run this 5,000 meters.
Let's go down the line. Bekele's in the lead. Gebremariam, his teammate, just 18 years of age, is in 2nd place. Another 18-year-old in 3rd place is Eliud Kipchoge. He's part of the camp of Bekele, and then El Guerrouj behind him, and then behind El Guerrouj the defending champion Limo of Kenya, and then behind him he's got Chebii and Kibowen, the other 2 Kenyans in the race. Well, 8 laps to go, Brendan, and it's not letting up. Bekele setting a pace here, which, okay, we might have expected a good pace, this good, strong pace. I think Limo was hoping for a good pace. I think Kipchoge would have hoped for a good pace. Certainly El Guerrouj wouldn't have been too pleased with this, but we weren't expecting Bekele to do this all by himself. And Kipchoge, the youngster, just going past Gebremariam. Gebremariam just watching to see what El Guerrouj does. And El Guerrouj, at the moment, you have to say, looks pretty comfortable and okay with what's going on ahead of him.
He certainly does look comfortable there in 3rd place. And the 5.7 for the first 2,000 meters. And when Haile Gebrselassie broke the world record for the 5,000 meters, he went through 5 laps in 5.6.4, so they're only a second of world record pace. And remember, this man's already won the 10,000 meters a few days ago. He ran the heats of the 5,000 meters a few days ago, and here he is, running in a very surprising way from my point of view. I'm amazed he's actually doing this. 7 laps to go, and the 10,000 meter champion is trying to repeat the double which has been achieved at a global level 6 times. And if you look back, it was first done in 1912 by the first flying Finn Kolomainen. Then it was done by the great Emil Zatopek. Then it was done in the Olympic Games by Vladimir Kutz. And then it was done twice in the 70s by Lassie Viren. And then most recently by Mirat Shifter, the fellow Ethiopian, a man who's here supporting Bekele, but I'm amazed that he's doing it like this. 6.9 for 6 laps, and to run it all the way on his own at the front well, I'm sure he's going to have to take his foot off the pedal. He's going to need some help from some of his teammates or some of his associates. But Hicham El Guerrouj, the 1500-meter champion, the man who's only run one serious 5,000 meters race before today, just gliding through, untroubled at the moment.
Bekele looks up, he's still got company. 6 laps to go, they're all lining up behind him. Kipchoge, then Hicham El Guerrouj, and Brendan was talking about that one race. It was in Ostrava right at the beginning of the season, and El Guerrouj looked very good in that race, which was run at a similar pace to this. He wanted to run something in the low 1240s, and it was only in the latter stages where he looked tired and was beaten by Stephen Chirono, as he then was. So is Bekele maybe taking a leaf out of Chirono's book, thinking, let's make it hard, let's take the sting out of him. But you know what, it's not so easy when you have to do that all by yourself. And Bekele is a confident runner on the country. He front runs then, he runs away from the pack, and he's trying to do the same thing here. But that was the slowest lap of this 5,000 meter final so far, 64.1.
Well, he looked over his shoulder there. Bekele looking for a bit of support. It hasn't been coming from his teammates. They look as though they're out of the race. But there are 4 Kenyans in that chasing group and 1 Moroccan. The first 6 athletes, Ethiopia, Kenya, Morocco, 3 more Kenyans. And they can be dangerous too. But as he sees the 5-lap scorer, Hicham El Guerrouj, through 3,000 meters in 7 minutes and 45 seconds, his confidence must be growing. And on the outside now, for the first time, we have a new leader. It's Kipchoge, the young junior champion from Kenya.
Well, Bekele moved out to let him through, I think, and hadn't realised that Kipchoge was wanting to come around the outside. Now, these two are part of the same camp, share the same manager, so I'm sure that this was thought out beforehand. And Kipchoge trying to pick up the pace because Bekele was starting to falter, but El Guerrouj is still there. Another 64 laps, 64.61. Richard Limo still close by. John Kibowen is still close by. Chebii looking as though he's working the hardest of the Kenyans, that's for sure. There's John Kibowen wearing 8:06 behind El Guerrouj. Limo's behind him, and then Chebii, whose head's just beginning to rock a little bit. He looked not so fit in Zurich. Chebii, who earlier on in the season looked as though he possessed the sort of finish that could outdo Bekele. In fact, he managed to do that on one occasion. So, a new leader, 4 laps to go. Kipchoge, Bekele, El Guerrouj, Limo, or Kibowen, then Limo, then Chebii, Gebremariam bringing up the back, and Tadese of Eritrea also in the group.
Well, the amazing thing there, Steve, the first 5 runners in this race are all world champions in their own right. You've got the junior champion, you've got the 10,000 meter champion, you've got El Guerrouj, the 1500 meter champion, and then you've got the 2 cross-country champions behind them. So what an amazing lineup in this event. And El Guerrouj is getting an easy ride, but there goes the effort now. There goes the 10,000 meter champion now, 3,600 meters behind him. He comes into the finishing straight. They look ahead, and now the confrontation is laid out there. How fast is this going to be? 3 laps to go, just over 3 laps to go. This is the territory which Hicham El Guerrouj owns. He said, I've reigned in my own kingdom of 1,500 meters. I now want to have a go at the 5,000 meters. And he's got to be feeling more comfortable now at this point than he has at any point in the race.
3 laps to go, and it's slowing down quite dramatically. And I know there are people around who thought that El Guerrouj might not leave it till the last 200, because Bekele does possess great pace. Said that El Guerrouj might just pick it up if the pace hasn't been that good. Well, it's been hard early on, and now they're just messing it around a little bit. They're changing the pace, and of course that sometimes doesn't help if you're not used to that in 5,000 meter running. But El Guerrouj looks very, very comfortable as Kipchoge comes to the front once more. Bekele follows him. El Guerrouj behind in 3rd place, checks over his shoulder. He'll find Gebremariam there. Richard Limo's there, John Kibowen and Chebii, and then Tadese. Those are the runners still in this final into the last 1,000 meters.
Into the last 1,000 meters, and the last 4 laps have been extremely slow. 64, 64, 64, 65, and now the 1,500 meter champion lays it down. He comes down the home straight. He sees the scorer. 2 laps to go in the men's 5,000 meter championship of the world. Hicham El Guerrouj, the 1,500 meter champion, leads from Bekele, the 10,000 meter champion. And the confrontation and the race we look for is now being dominated by the Moroccan.
I'm a little surprised, but this is what we thought might happen. Hicham El Guerrouj with a phalanx of African distance running talent behind him. Takes a little glance over his shoulder. They're still there. That's a 60 lap. He picked it up. He's trying to make it a long run for home. He's got behind him Bekele. He's got Chebii, who's just taking closer order. He's got Kipchoge. He's got Limo, and he's got Kibowen.
And into the home straight. 500 meters to go. And a classic race here between the 1500-meter man and the 10,000-meter man. Who is the fastest? Does the 10,000-meter champion have the sprint finish, or does the Moroccan world record holder in 1,500 meters? And off he goes. The race, the pursuit, the intention is laid down by Hicham El Guerrouj. Not since 1924 has anyone done the double at 1,500 meters and 5,000 meters. Is it going to be repeated again today?
It's a long run for home. Hicham El Guerrouj attempting to take them on. Kipchoge can't go with it. Bekele trying to get back there. Kibowen also trying to give chase, but Hicham El Guerrouj of Morocco trying to take this 5,000-meter title. Kipchoge, the world junior record holder, still there. Bekele, the 10,000-meter gold medalist, still there. John Kibowen trying to get onto them. Gebregziabher has run his race, or has he? Has he got anything left? El Guerrouj trying to get there. Kipchoge, the junior's there. El Guerrouj is trying to get to the line. Kenya wins it. Kipchoge takes the gold medal.
The last lap run in somewhere around 53 seconds. Unbelievably fast, and a courageous warrior-like race for all four of those men. 18 years of age, Eliud Kipchoge. I mean, you know, you hear about child prodigies that can play the piano. How can you do this at 18 when you should be a senior in high school?
Kipchoge with the final stretch there, the lean. El Guerrouj tried to lean, but he didn't have enough. What a finish, Larry.
What a sensational race. 12 minutes, 52 seconds plus, and they left it for the sprint. And Kenya has come away with two important gold medals here to help salvage a disappointing world championships for them. Classy El Guerrouj, he is a classy guy.
But it's Eliud Kipchoge, only 18 years of age, the teenager, able to win the gold medal in the 5,000. We're back in Paris with more after this message and a word from our ABC station.